Hello, everybody, and welcome to Teamsheet Tantrum here in association with Boohoo Man. Teamsheet Tantrum takeover, should I say, part of and For the Love of Paul McGrath and the Villa View collaboration, as I say, in conjunction with Boohoo Man. Obviously, with Boohoo Man, you can get an extra 10% off all Boohoo Man menswear with the code Villa View. So don't forget to use that if it is something that you are looking to look for, or you're looking to look at, or you're looking to get, should I say, over the next few weeks or months. If I suppose really the next few days, really, if you're looking to get some gear off them, go to Boohoo Man. 10% off all Boohoo Man menswear with the code Villa View. So obviously today, guys, we're coming to you as a Teamsheet Tantrum. It's going to be a tough one, I think, today against Leicester, and I want you guys to pop in your comments there, and we will see any of them as they pop up here. Hopefully we'll be able to see those messages and those comments as they do pop up. But pop them through here and we will see if we can highlight them and show them here. So, we've got somebody in from South Korea. Good to see you, Scott. Great to have you on board. Tom Cowley is there as well. Tom, yeah, I just I picked this jacket up during the week. This is a lovely jacket from the Villa and Proud team, part of the Pride jacket made by Kappa as well. It's a serious jacket, and they had a great range there. Hopefully there's more stuff like this coming out over the coming seasons as well, because it's a great initiative as well. Brian Hennessy, no negativity, please. Brian, do you not know me at this stage? I try my best to steer my whole life away from negativity, probably to my detriment, to be honest with you. I probably stay away from negativity as well. But as I say, we will go through the team. I don't know what way the team is going to look today. Hopefully it will be a team that we all can agree on. And as we say, we looked at some of the press conference stuff. I was with Dan last night. We spoke through some of the things that Stephen Gerrard went through. It looks like we're going to have we're not going to have Bertrand Traore, we're not going to have Sanson, we're not going to have House, we're not going to have Digne, but I would imagine, he talks about a lot of changes, and I suppose we're going to see if we make those changes now today, or if maybe this isn't the game to do it. I do apologize. I got sunburnt this morning in Ireland, just to go completely off topic. And it's really distracting me as I'm seeing myself looking back on the screen here. I've got big sunburn blotches underneath my eyes. So if anybody's wondering why I'm kind of stopping mid-sentence, it's really distracting me. I didn't even know until I looked until now. When I started looking into the camera. So I do apologize. For my distracted start. So a couple of things coming in here, guys. Jar Dunleavy, good to have you, Jar. Jar says I sincerely hope Chambers, Nakamba, and Buendia start. I wouldn't be surprised to see all of them start. Absolutely. John Steele, his only superstition is that if I drink tea out of one particular Villa mug on match day, we lose. The missus brought tea up this morning and it was in that mug. I'm sorry, divorce proceedings. That's what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do, John. You absolutely got to do what you got to do. Connor, good to see you, Connor. Connor's in from Brazil. Have we anyone else from any mad and wonderful countries? We've got Joe Keating. Joe Keating's here from Japan. So far, who do we have? We've got Japan, Brazil. There was someone earlier on. I can't scroll down that far. I'm not. I apologize. And I was really distracted when I was when I was doing my opening intro. So I do apologize there. Anything else that we have in the comment section there? From Prague, we've got people in there from Prague. We've got somebody in from an absolute banger of a spot, Newquay. We have Matthew Jennings in from Newquay. We've John Green, as I say, from Prague. We have Fred from Bahrain. David Miller is Ireland is mad and wonderful too. I absolutely agree. We've got I can't keep up with bringing them up on screen. We've got Midnight Mark from Penkridge. We've got Paddy. Wait a minute. I know that guy. Paddy's actually over the game in Leicester, and as much and all as I tried to actually get him on today to come and share his musings, I just couldn't get it to work. I do apologize, but Paddy is here in the comments, so good to see that he's listening. We've got Paul Cox in Melbourne, Australia. We've got Jack Markey from Zimbabwe. We've got Delboy in London. We have Antoine in France. People's Republic of Crumlin. Darren's in. Jordan Levy's is in Cork here in Ireland. The Magic Magnum is Jamaican Villain checking in from Qatar. This is mad, lads. The internet's an absolutely unbelievable tool, isn't it? It's crazy. It's crazy. Like all these people all over the world checking in. Tom Krill is in Thailand, and O'Grady's from the metropolis of Ballingarry, my hometown in Limerick. So it's we've got Waterford, we've got Solihull. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Did someone say that the team is announced early? I'm after getting 2 messages here. It's probably people hopping ball because they see that I'm floundering around here on the stream trying to control it myself and do everything there. But the team hasn't been announced. No, it hasn't. I can see it here. Hasn't been announced just yet. So guys, pop in there. Who's going to be your centre back partnership for today? I personally think I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think the fact that we've had a 2-week break, maybe I'm not sure that he's going to actually change it at all. Maybe it's going to be Konsa and Mings. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I don't know. What do you guys think? What kind of a midfield partner, or sorry, what kind of a centre back partnership? Because I think Nakamba is going to come into midfield. I think he's definitely going to come into midfield, and that's going to be an interesting conversation in itself. We have Chambers and Mings. Sai says Chambers and Mings. Karpal Singh says Chambers and Mings. Sai says maybe he plays a back three. I'd be absolutely, you'd see me fall off my chair if he plays a back three here. Rob Kenny says Konsa and Mings. Mings and Chambers from Dave. Antoine says Mings and Chambers. Michael Moylan says Mings and Chambers. Sweet Karma says Mings and Chambers. Konsa's earned a rest. Yeah, so it looks like Mings and Chambers. Maybe House for Mings. Ryan Locke says. Yeah, so it seems that we've got, I'm not going to say that we got consensus, but it looks like we do have people do want to see maybe Mings and Chambers for today, which would be interesting in itself. I'm trying to find the team sheets here for when it does pop up and when we're ready. Okay, I think I found them. Using the Villa Views console is wildly different to the console I use, and as I will always say every time that I've done these, is the guy behind the scenes in the Villa View, producer Adam, deserves a lot of credit because it's a full-on job trying to click on buttons here to keep up with everything. Sam Baggett says the Chambers has earned a go. Oh, I might as well show up here since I have it here in front of me. Chambers has earned a go. That's what competition is there for. As far as our recent run goes, no manager can mitigate for strikers missing as many chances as we have for a few weeks. Oh, Sam, you've absolutely hit the nail on the head there with the last piece there. We have missed a lot of chances. And I think that's not just even the last few weeks. I think we haven't been as clinical all year. You know, we've needed a lot of chances. And then when we haven't created chances, we've looked really, really poor. So that for me, I think, you know, I think that's actually a pretty good point that you make there with regards to we created enough chances to score 2 goals against Spurs. We could have been 2-1 up. And that would have had a very different complexion on the game. Maybe Spurs might have had to come out and play a small bit more as opposed to play long balls to Kane. Maybe we push everybody back. That's a real good point that you make there. Maybe one that we haven't made an awful lot of, I think, in a lot of the games that we've covered so far. Luke Barlow says Hart says Chambers and Mings, but he'll pick Konsa and Mings. I think you might be right on that one there as well. And Gary Horgan says here, let me know what you guys think about this one. Mings and Chambers, it'd be bad for squad morale if Konsa stays in the team following his recent form. For people who watch our own podcast, for the love of Paul McGrath, for those of you who watch that podcast, you know, myself and Paddy get into very philosophical and sometimes heated arguments over intangibles like that. I can absolutely agree with you in a lot of areas there, Gary, that, you know, squad morale and stuff like that. But I don't think it's as easy as somebody makes a mistake. If he isn't dropped, then that the squad morale goes down, because I think it could have the complete and utter opposite effect as well. If he started, it can show that, you know, that the manager is willing to overlook 1 or 2 bad performances because they know you're a good player. Look, there's a lot of different psychology in it. I don't know the answer. So, you know, I'm just playing devil's advocate with that one, with that comment. But it is important, I suppose, how is he going to play in the man management side of things? How is he going to manage the team, the squad, when we do have such varying levels of consistency within the team? And there's no one that's been really 100% consistent, I suppose, other than really Matty Cash and Jacob Ramsey. You know, everybody's had their up and their down days as well. A lot of people saying that a lot of people are talking about Nakamba being in the team as well. Absolutely. I think that is one for definitely one that we will see. It's 1 minute past 2. Let's see if the team sheets are up. So bear with me while I try and pop this up here. So I'm just going to try and import the team sheet. Okay, I think we might have it. Bear with me here as we take a look and see if the team sheets are loaded. Let's see. No, nothing there yet. I'm just on this system, but I do know that they are live. So I'm going to open up here on Twitter on my phone, and I will just read it out. Apologies, I make a mess of this every single time. I really need to learn how to do it. So we've got Martinez in goals, Cash, Konza, Mings, Ashley Young, McGinn, Douglas, Jacob Ramsey, Bailey, Watkins, Coutinho. On the bench, we've Olsen, Chambers, Chrisane, Nakamba, Young Tim, Tommy O'Reilly, Carney, Buendia, and Ings. Changes didn't come. The changes didn't come. I think that's fair to say that they didn't come because they're not like there's no change. Bailey's in. Yeah, Bailey is in. It's a strange one for me. Like, we're back to, for any of you guys who saw my podcast during the week as well, we're back to kind of hoping that Bailey is a 9, or is he a 10, or is he a 10, or is he a 9? And we don't really know where he is because he plays in the wing. And, where are we fitting him in this formation? So for me, this is, I would have preferred to see Buendia in there instead of Bailey if he was going to play that team. We've got Noah Nakamba, which for me is mind blowing. I would put Nakamba in there. I push Jacob Ramsey up into 10 and play McGinn, Douglas Luiz, and Nakamba in that midfield. I'm a bit disappointed with that team. I'm a bit disappointed in that team, to be honest with you. I would have thought that Nakamba was a shoo-in, considering he's had another 2 weeks of training time. He's not in there, and for me, I think that's a miss. I think that's a miss, considering how pivotal he's been. There's no one out there that can look at how we've played recently and say, yeah, we've got the defensive midfielder position nailed down. And I think if you're talking about making changes, whatever about making changes to the two center halves, but I think probably have earned their opportunity to start again over not starting again. I think our midfield really needs to be shaken up, and we've got the same 3 midfielders out again. And that to me is a small bit disappointing. But as always, optimism ahead. Leon Bailey in there. Let's see. Stephen Gerrard did mention that we haven't been really getting a song out of the 3 players that came in to replace Jack Grealish. Leon Bailey was one of those. He's fit to play him again today. So, Leon Bailey, let's go and score 2 goals today, and let's prove what you're made of. I do have the team here again, so we can take a look at the Leicester team. So Leicester start with Kasper Schmeichel in goals. That's what the delay was here. Usually when we load it here, you have to wait for Leicester to name their team. So I'm going to blame this one on Leicester. So they go with Castagna, Seanchu, James Justin, and Fofana starts. We've got Nampalys Mendy and Tielemans holding in midfield with Madison, Dewsbury Hall, and Lookman behind Patson Daka. So for me, obviously, they've brought in Seanchu. They've taken out Evans. They've got their 2 fullbacks back in there again, but that's as strong a team as they could probably put out at the moment, Leicester, which I'm surprised about, considering they've played 7 games in the last 21 days, 6 of those being in the league. They've only won 1 league game of those 6 in the last 21 days. Granted, they have drawn an awful lot, but they lost on a last-minute goal they drew on a last-minute goal to Everton, lost on a last-minute goal to Newcastle, and they do have a tough UEFA night coming up against Jose Mourinho's Roma during the week. So for me, I think I'm actually quite taken aback at how strong they've gone there, and that they haven't shaken it up. I expected the likes of Chowdhury to come in, maybe a Martry, maybe they'd start with Iheanacho as opposed to Daka up front, that kind of a thing. But there's no Harvey Barnes in there, which is a good thing for Aston Villa, because we all know how the Harvey Barnes likes to turn it on, and we're not very good against pace down the wings. So I'm delighted he's not there. But obviously, Dewsbury Hall, Madison, and Lookman are going to have to take a small bit of minding, and that's why I'm not happy that Nakamba isn't in there. So all in all, looking at the 2 teams together, our team isn't. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really a fan of our team. It's not often I come on here and say that in the team sheet tantrum. Look, it's essentially the team we've played all year. and we're hearing about changes. We're hearing about it's up to me to fix it and stuff like that. And yes, I'm completely aware that you can fix it through tactics. And that's what I'm hoping. And that's what that you would, I think actually needs to be done. But for me, if Nakamba is starting in midfield there, that to me signifies that we're changing both tactics and we're changing personnel for the better for me. So I'm a small little bit, I'm a small bit between two stools and on our own team sheet there. Let's have a little look at some of the comments there from everybody. I think you guys are more or less on the same page. I was looking at a lot of them rattle through there. Rob Henry says that I'm going to back up my face there again because I love the look of myself. Rob Henry back up again says midfield will be key today. It's going to be even more key, I think, after seeing that team, because I think you just popped that up just before the team. Ad says it's the midfield, and even when defense makes mistakes, it's because we have a non-existent midfielder and our defense is set to be slaughtered. Absolutely. And while I'm not here to prove to everybody that Stephen Gerrard's a good manager or a bad manager or whatever, I'll let you guys make up your own opinion. I have gone down through every game that Stephen Gerrard has played, and the marked difference between the chances that we create, the chances that we concede, and the way we set up with Nakamba in the team, as opposed to when he's not in the team. When he's not in the team, we just don't play a defensive midfielder. So I think now my attitude to it is that Douglas Luiz may be deployed in the number 6 role, but certainly doesn't line up there throughout the course of the whole game. And that's not putting blame on Douglas Luiz. I don't know who's to blame for that. But based on the way that the game pans out, and also based on their average, the average heat maps, Douglas Luiz is much further forward than Nakamba, and I think it unbalances the team totally if we are playing a flat midfield. So that's just me as well. A lot of people saying there that Nakamba's on the bench. A lot of people asking for or saying what has Chambers done wrong. That's actually a fair point. I think Sai made a fair point there. What's Chambers done wrong? He scored a brilliant goal and had been pretty rock solid, and we were playing in games whereby we weren't conceding goals, and we'd scored 9. I think we'd scored 9 goals over that period when he played. We scored 4 and 2 and 3. What's that? That's it. Yeah, that's 9 goals. And then he was just dropped, and since then we haven't won. And I'm not saying he's the savior, because I think that's not but that's not true either. I suppose to say that Chambers is the savior, but if something ain't broke, why did you go and fix it? And that was when we were winning. And now that it is broke, why aren't we fixing it? If that makes sense. So the reverse is true now, that maybe we need to change something up and see what we can get from a game like today. Bailey and Young, the only changes there. Josh, the disappointment on my face. Yeah, that's why I was looking to get the team sheet up, because as I was reading it myself, I could see my face was dropping, because I think I'm not hopeful that we're going to have any joy out of our left hand side today, especially if Coutinho is going to play more central, and if Bailey is going to pull to the left, which in fairness, he has predominantly pulled to the right since he's been in the team. But I think that we need a lot more protection and coverage for Ashley Young. I think today he's going to have a tough job in his hands. I think they're going to rotate Madison over to that side. I think they're going to play Lookman over towards that side. And he does have Thomas Castagna to deal with over there too. So our left-hand side is going to just need to lock itself down today. And I'm not quite sure I can see a way that we can do that. So I'm a small bit worried, more worried now with regards to this, even though that we should have higher energy levels than Leicester today, given the amount of games that they've played recently. And we need another win to just pull ourselves out of that area. I don't think we're going to get relegated. I've said it before. I actually think it would be the collapse of all collapses, and it would lead to us having to lose all our games going forward for us to get relegated. But as we've seen, anything is possible, specifically with Newcastle. Newcastle are doing something, as I've said before, that will never be done in the Premier League again. There will never, ever, 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 ever be a team on 5 points at that time of the season that will go away and win 9 games out of 13. It will never happen ever again. And they're doing something we've never seen before. So I hope we don't do something that the league has never seen before either, losing 13 games on the bounce. So because that's what would need to happen, I think, for us to go down. There's a lot of comments in here. Danielle, I agree with you as well. I think the onus is on Stephen Gerrard now, if things aren't working, to change it early. I know that we're down a couple of players. We're like it's the things that you say are the things that you're going to have to be judged on an awful lot as well. Just like ourselves, sometimes I've said tons of wrong things. The amount of times I've gone on our own podcast and said, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I apologize to Ashley Young for saying that he was going to be useless." And then he goes out against Southampton and has the game. I think it was Southampton. Has the game of his life, and I had to go around with egg on my face. If you keep on saying things in press conferences that you're going to make changes, I would hope that we would make changes. Now, once again, I can understand why some changes weren't made, but I think there were other easy changes that were there that wouldn't have lessened the ability of our team and might have actually heightened the ability of the tactic that he wants to play, if that makes sense. So, there's a lot of pressure on Leon Bailey today. Tons of pressure on Leon Bailey today because, I know we're away from home, but if he doesn't have a good first 10, 15, 20 minutes, and if the team don't have a good first 10, 15, 20 minutes, I'll be deleting my Twitter app anyway, that's for sure, because it will be pelters left, right, and center, and maybe rightly so, but I don't know. I'm not willing to cascade the team yet, because as I've said 1,000,001 times we've done these, and I've been completely wrong about the team. I've had a bad feeling, and then likewise I've had a good feeling about the team. I've had a good feeling about Bailey since he's come back from injury, and he's probably done diddly squat, to be honest with you. So he's going to prove me wrong, or prove me right, or prove me wrong at some stage. But hopefully today is the day. Lars 2326 asks, is it 4231? You know what? I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. And no, actually, I'm going to say it isn't. And the reason I'm going to say it isn't is because there's no way he puts McGinn back there in the 6th position again. So if Nakamba was in, let's just say Nakamba had started and Jacob Ramsey was rested, or Nakamba had started and Ramsey was pushed further forward and Bailey wasn't in the starting team. You could make an argument there that the two could be Luiz and Nakamba, and then the three in front would be McGinn, Coutinho, and Jacob Ramsey, and you can make a very strong argument that that's probably our strongest team behind Watkins at this moment in time. And then for that reason, I would have said that, yeah, look, 4-2-3-1 actually is quite exciting in that aspect, because we have the anchor point behind our fullbacks. For me, that would actually work beautifully, because that would allow our fullbacks to bomb forward. We would still have Nakamba and Luiz back to help. But at the moment, we don't have that defensive wall. And that's what's really worrying, specifically when they're going to play 3 up top. Anyone else there? So, Rob, this is an interesting point as well. So Rob Henry says, is Bailey in there so Young can stay back a bit? Oh God, I don't know. We'll know, I suppose, after 10 minutes. If we're going, we could potentially go with 5 in midfield today. We could go with 5 in midfield, or we could play a 4-4-1-1. You know, I'm not hopeful that we're going to play something like that, but like playing devil's advocate, we could do that, and that could make us a bit stronger in midfield. But obviously, that means that we're playing one player out of place. Probably we're playing Jacob Ramsey out on the left-hand side, Coutinho in behind Watkins. And maybe that's a great way to get Coutinho some space there in front of 2 centre halves. Like, we're going to want to play, we want to try and pull Fofana out of position as best we can and leave Watkins and Söyüncü inside there. Because if we can pull Fofana forward, try and get up through the wings, maybe this is a tactic. Maybe I've just stumbled upon this as I've been talking. Maybe we pull Fofana forward, and he comes to take Coutinho, and then we try and press through the wings, and Watkins then can run Söyüncü in around inside. But then again, they're going to have Tielemans and Nampalys Mendy inside there, who aren't going to want to wander too far forward when they've got their attacking foursome that they have in there today. So it's going to be really, really interesting after the first 10 minutes to know how we're going to set up today. Like Buendia, Chambers, and like are I'd like to have seen some changes as well, guys. Yeah, I'd like to have seen some changes. So we're going to ask the $1 million question. There's a couple of questions in there, guys. I don't think it's the right street. Apologies, I'm not ignoring some of the questions in there about Steven Gerrard and about Smith and stuff like that. like we can all discuss that in the post match. I think that's probably best for the post match. Not that I'm trying to stifle conversation or anything. I'm absolutely not. We've got a limited time before the game, so we could be here for 3 hours discussing Steven Gerrard, Dean Smith, Eddie Howe, all that kind of stuff, because there is quite a lot of talking points that could be garnered from managerial pieces, and I think potentially that that there's a lot of water to go under the bridge yet before we can get a full view of Steven Gerrard within the role itself. But that's a conversation for another day, lads. What scores? Pop a few scores in there. Rob Henry knew it was coming. You know me too long, Rob. Rob puts in 3-1 Villa. I think we'd all be buying new pints, Rob, if that was the case. 2-2 Gav D says Watkins and Bailey to score. Anybody else got any comments in there? 3-1 Villa trailer, says Darren. 3-1 Leicester, says Lars. 1-1 says 1 each, says Matt Walton. 1-1 says Scott Little. 1-1. Oh wow, they're coming in thick and fast now. Nathan White says 1-1. 57-0 Villa. I'd like to know what the odds are on that. 56, but we'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. We've got 2-1 Villa from Corpel. We've got 2-1 from Billy Jones. That's the Villa. Kuhua Gaming. Yeah, Kuhua, I'm actually going. I know what you're talking about there. I'm going to the Limerick hurling match later on, and I hope that is the score to Limerick later on. For all you UK fans, you're not going to know what that means whatsoever. Danielle says 3-2 to Leicester. Chris Hardy says, how can anyone see anything else? We're losing. I take a draw, says Sai, and I'm on the same boat as Sai. I take a draw as well, says Zach. 2-0 Foxes, says Chris. John J.R. McBride says optimism has taken a hit lately. Draw at best. Ken says 2-1 Villa. Luke says 2-1 to either team. David Miller says 1-1 and Schmeichel red card. I will tell you this much. Paddy Kelly is in attendance today. If Schmeichel gets a red card, I can guarantee you he will run onto the field and goad Schmeichel on his way off the field, because Paddy has it be in his bonnet about Schmeichel after the last game. So, Paddy, if you are listening, please don't do that. I need you back safe and sound. For sure. James Saunders says 2-0 Villa with Bailey and McGinn scoring. Libby Marr says 3-1 Villa. I like that one. George Harrison says 1-1. David Owen says 1-0 to Villa. Coutinho to score and give a masterclass today. 3-2 to Villa, says Standing on the Word. Uncharacteristic 1-0 Villa win. That I would love it. Absolutely. Malk 70,000 70000 says 2-0 Villa. We will draw 1/2 and Ed says we will draw 1/2 and lose the other. Okay, and that means that we're going to lose overall, though, Ed. But I'm okay. Libby Maher's Irish too, going over for Norwich. Never know, you might get to see me over there. I can't wait. I'm hopping on a plane Friday afternoon, and I'm going to go to the Norwich game too. So you never know, you might see us there. Brett Riverboat has stuck 50 quid in Leicester to beat us, just to jinx them, as I'm on such a poor betting run. Only bet what you can afford, and when the fun stops, stop, Brett, and that goes for everybody else that's here. As well. 2-0 to Villa, says Adam. Good to see you, Adam. Haven't chatted to you in a while. 2-0 to Villa. John Steele says 2-2. 2-2. I was going to say 2-2 to John Steele. That's how good he is, that he can play a team all on his own. Junior Bennett 1-0. Feeling optimistic. Got to win one eventually. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you've got a point. Antoine says 2-2 Villa come back from behind. That would be one for the books, considering the only time we've gotten a win this season where we've come from behind was against Leicester the last time. Harvey Barnes scored first. Konza banged in 2 from set pieces. So that is great. So guys, we're nearly at, we're on for the last half hour, and there's been great interaction in the comments. Really enjoy it. It's been great to see all your scores. Kind of a synopsis just before we finish up there is that, yeah, it's not the team I was hoping for. That's me with my diplomatic hat on for sure. It's not the team. We put on my diplomatic hat here since there's a hat near to me, and it is a Boohoo Man hat as well, considering they're sponsoring the podcast. This is my diplomatic hat on, and you know, the team isn't what I hope for. The team isn't what matched the words that we're hearing after post-match conferences. Then again, 2 weeks is a long time in football, and certain players might be playing absolutely rubbish. They might be taking little niggles in with them, so don't know a whole lot. Don't know a whole lot about reasons for being picked. I hope questions are asked about, you know, changes are sought, and the Canvas looks like he's fit now. Why did you go with this certain team selection? I'd like to hear that maybe after the game or maybe before the game, and maybe in some of the press conferences prior to that. But look, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater, and let's not get ahead of ourselves here. This team is still a team full of good players. We're a team that are on a very, very bad run at the moment. We're a team full of good players. Maybe they click today. That's the optimism I'm coming with today. And I know some of you won't share it, but I don't know. My last thought on it is I think that we get a draw today. I think if we come and let's be honest to ourselves, guys, an away draw at Leicester, you know, we're a team that doesn't draw. We've only drawn 3 games all season, 2 games all season, you know. So if we get an away draw at Leicester, I think it could be considered a good point. It's 1 point further up the table, away from safety, away from relegation, should I say. A lot of people are worried that Burnley might win tomorrow and drag us back into it. Remember, there's 3 teams between us and the relegation zone, and that would, you know, we would realistically have to not win any more games. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if it is, if I'm the jinx that does it, then I do apologize. But we need to take any points at all, whether it be 1 point, whether it be 3 points or whatever. And this team needs to get a bit more steely and not lose games. So I'm going to go back to my original prediction that I always had for games: is this is a must not lose game as opposed to a must win game. And hopefully Aston Villa can find a way to get a point out, at least a point out of today. So that's going to do it today. I really appreciate everybody, all the chats, all the comments, everything that you've had. I hope I made sense at the start. I hope I made sense at the middle. And I certainly hope I made sense as we came towards the end of this podcast. I appreciate everybody for popping on. Give this a like if you can. Also, Boohoo Man, once again, over this side, 10% off all Boohoo Man menswear with the code VillaView as well. Don't forget to use that if you are looking for, maybe you might be looking for an orange hat. Who knows? Like the one I'm wearing here. But you know, go and use the 10% code to get yourself some cash off. Thanks to the guys here at the Villa View. So as always, thanks to Dan, thanks to Chris, thanks to Omar, thanks to Adam, thanks to all the guys at the Villa View for allowing me to pop on today to have a chat with you. Hopefully our luck changes today, and this is the start of a run of maybe a 2 or 3 game run that we go on where we get points. We won't know until the 90 minutes are up. And we have 30, what's my maths like, 37 minutes to go before kickoff. So as I always say, get yourself settled wherever you are, get a nice beverage, get something nice to eat, and sit down and hope that Aston Villa don't ruin your Saturday. But we will be back again with post-match points. The guys will be back with post-match points. We will be back with reaction shows as well on our podcast. Thanks a million for absolutely everything. It's been brilliant to see where everybody is all over the world. I hope everybody gets the right result today and Aston Villa start to climb their way back up the table. But until next time, have a great Saturday up the Villa, and we will see you again.